guys, this is an introduction and preview of my times. Gonna be a little faster. I was recording earlier and then it just deleted everything because I took too long. I guess I don't know. So probably go back and check. I guess a couple of times. I don't know. Anyway, sixth grade. Um, we walked until we walked this. We walked most of our during most of our meets. I want to say it was just this one that we didn't walk. Maybe this one too, which is most of the time junior high courses. I don't know if you can actually say that the distance is actually the distance for my times. And then seventh grade, this one was the first one. We were making big improvements, dropping a ton of time off because we're actually running now, not walking any of them for seventh grade. You can pause the video and look closer at my times if you want to and see when they were in comparison to each other and stuff. Eighth grade, this one that says 5K, it's actually 2,500. I'm thinking my new goal is going to be to try and beat that time in an actual 5K, though, which would mean I'd have to take about 4 minutes off my PR, a little more. So it's going to be a challenge. We'll try, though, for sure. And as you can see, still just more improvement. Pause the video if you want to look closer at my times. My freshman year, there was only 6 on the team. I was number 4 by the end of it. Had some improvements, had some crappy races. I learned how to deal with the hill on this one, though, so that you get in high school. You don't have it in junior high. This one's a fun one with logs. We were fairly consistent, had a few big jumps down, like got down into 20s, all in trainers, no spikes. Sophomore year, now we're in spikes for a lot of them. Not, what's this one? Let me see here. Let me think. Yeah, that one was, wasn't it? Yeah, because that one would have been Grace. Yes, this one would have been at Grace. Yeah. So now, sophomore year, we're doing good. Riding the line on JV varsity. Districts, we have a bit of a crappy meet. And then, I want to say I get home that day, and then all of a sudden my mom has COVID. So, yeah. Good thing I didn't qualify for state, I guess. Because I wouldn't have been able to go. But anyway, then I went to NXR, which is amazing. I love that course, NXR Northwest. They moved it, though, this year. I don't know why. Moved it out to Washington, I think. Somewhere in Washington. It's kind of sad because the course this one's out in Eagle, Idaho. Amazing course. I love that course. The hill the second time really gets you sometimes, but it was a great course. 2039, one of my best times. This time, I don't count it necessarily. It was a course that was only 3 miles instead of the 3.1 that a real 5K is, right? Then junior year, I'm also riding the line really a lot in junior year. And I end up right before Firth, actually, is when I actually donated blood the Monday before that one. So that did not help me because then I wasn't able to perform my best until this one where I did do almost my best. This season, I was trying to break into the 19s, obviously. I ran 1904.1 for the 3 mile. It was actually fairly accurate on the course. I mean, I think it was a little shorter than, right? No, I think that actually is accurate because they had it listed as a 5K when it was only 3 miles. Yeah. And then the 5Ks, we started in the 22s again. We seem to like starting in the 22s, just so you know. But and then we dropped down to the 21s. Then we dropped down to the 20s. Look at that. About a minute off. And then go back to the 21 flat here after we did that, And then Bob Conley, we actually officially break 20 for the first time. Barely. It was so hot that day. One of my classmates had their mom gave us water about mile 2. Dumped that on me. That was a lifesaver. So shout out to Brandy Hubbard for that. She was saving our lives out there on the course pretty much every meet. Then I have Firth. That's just after donating blood, so of course I'm slower. And then districts, still recovering from that, so I'm slower. I didn't quite make it. But oh well. Districts that year was at Malad, the Terry Jones course. Then we had NXR. I was the only one that went this time. Went up with my grandparents the day before to get my packet and stuff. Had some happy teriyaki for dinner. That was amazing. And I went out there and I ran. This one was one of my favorites. I could talk all day about it probably. I finished on empty for sure. Like my legs literally gave out at the line. Like I'm not sure if it was right before the line, at the line. That was a great one, though. Like, and I almost got under 20 again. Then we come into my senior year. Now we know our team's gotten second the last 2 years. Freshman year, when we got there, the team, we were just excited to be there. But sophomore and junior year, they were actually competing. They got second both years, not with me. This year, we're going into it. We're training hard to intentionally get ourselves into the top spot, right? We want to win. We're tired of getting second. We want first. We get into it. I open it with a 22:30. So sitting there in 22s. That's what I like to open, I guess. Then we go, next one, I drop back down in the 21s. Then I go to the 22s. Ew. Right? But I'd just been training for a half marathon that summer for my senior project. I trained for and completed a half marathon. So my body's already, like, I've got the endurance. I just need to get my speed back, right? Then I get 21:30 at the Danny Bates. This time it was actually a little long. And then we have Rexburg. This time they fixed it. It was the right length. And we go 19:37. Huge. Like that's 20 seconds off from my previous best, Crazy. Then there was a meet in here between these two that we went to that I was registered differently and stuff and ended up running in the wrong race. So we got those. So that time wasn't counted, which is nice because it would have been in the low 20s rather than in the 19s. And then we go Bob Conley. I run JV, the faster JV section. Nice. And I get 19:47. Not bad. Not bad. We stand down there under 20. Let's go, right? We go to Firth. IPR again, 19:18. Felt like I was dying. Like I could not breathe the last 100 meters or so. It's crazy because that when you finish on a track, it's really nice. Nice for knowing how close to the finish you are, But then we go districts, which is that Bob Conley course, and it's also where state was that year too. And so we go 19:10, another PR. It's crazy. But I mean, after this one, we ran it in spikes when we wouldn't normally because of pavement and stuff. Because we're like, okay, we're gonna have to put new spikes in after this one anyway. But also, our coach was buying us the Nike Dragonfly XCs if we were on varsity or broke certain times. So I was like, it's like, why not? We're gonna give it our all. We're gonna use these spikes to our advantage where we can, and we'll get the new ones because we'll be on varsity. And we did. In district, I opened with a 5:30, pretty much a PR for the mile for my first mile, and I was still feeling good until the mile and a half mark. But then I died. It was fun. Then state, same course. And I go from 19:10 down to an 18:46. That's a 24-second PR at state. And I beat Victory Charter, which is the school that we were competing against. They'd beat us the 2 years before. They'd been winning it my entire time through high school. We beat them by 2 points. I was their seventh man. Our sixth man also beat their fifth guy. Me and our sixth man were the reason we won. And then I went to NXR again with some more people and ran 19:26. I just love that course. But state, I also, I kept opening pretty consistently in around 5:30, those last three meets in my Dragonflies. And then I went out to, I got to go to college and run. I was just psyched to be there. Okay, checking on that. And opened up at Augie. This is amazing. It's out in Sioux Falls. Just really flat, and you got music. It's a twilight meet. It's vibes. You gotta love that one. I ran 24:24. That's 6:06 per mile, or about 19 flat 5K pace. Amazing, right? It was great. Then we go to Roy Griak in Minnesota, and it's kind of mid. To me, it's too hilly for me. We're not ready for it, I guess. It's a beater. Then we go to Jimmy that's in North Dakota, in Jamestown, and we ran good. I actually I don't remember what my Roy Griak one what opening mile was, but I know my others were right around that like 5:50 to 6 flat pace. Like these ones when I was like pacing one of my teammates for the first mile so they don't go too fast, or too slow, right? And 32:47, not bad. Go to Blazing Tiger in Nebraska, middle of nowhere, right? And to get a 31:31.2, just stays my PR. It's even though GPAC conference was the same course, there was just less people, more wind too. I think it just wasn't my day. We did great, and that's kind of my cross country. I will get my track in another video probably. So I'll try to have this one up by 5 p.m. today, Thursday, November 20th. So yeah, we will see you.